Hello, Cancer. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. All right, Cancer. This one's a heavy hitter, and it's great. The amount of awareness that you have right now in your ability to manifest the things that you want, but there's also the other side of it where there may be people around you who don't exactly like what you're doing. Now, the reason why this is happening is message in a bottle. First of all, how can you not say that phrase without hearing the lyrics being sung in your head, right? Surely I can't be the only one. But this one in particular is being aware of the signs that are popping up around you that are leading you in a very specific direction. And it is something that you are not going to hesitate on, and you are certainly not going to let anything stop you from creating what you want. But because of that classic story, right? The witch using her power and people not liking it, calling in the storm is like, no. Not only am I going to do this because this is what I want, I am going to make sure that everyone knows that they can't deter me or tell me otherwise. It's like you're making a ruckus and you've got this magician on steroids, right? But you want to be careful. And what I want to say here is, be careful about what you choose to do when it comes to people who may be opposing you. I would say that being mindful of the reason why they don't like what you're doing is going to help you respond versus react, right? But you, I think, are going to face some opposition. And all of this, though, starts because of one thing that turns into many, that for you is going to be seen like, oh yeah, this is a sign, right? It has to be. This is exactly what I have to do. And the power that you have to be able to do it is insane. But be careful, right? Like, you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you're trying to do what you want without opposition, but then having nothing but chaos happening around you. But again, that's going to be because of people who aren't going along with it. Look at that. Here overall, the Ace of Cups. There you go. Yeah, I would be fighting tooth and nail to be able to take full advantage of this new beginning too, right? Like, this is being so happy that your cup is overflowing. This is like a restoration and emotional fulfillment for you, but this is just the beginning. So emotionally, this is going to be something that's like, yes, I want to start this. I want to do this. In the past, the Two of Swords, so this may be something that you couldn't decide on before. It may have required you to make a difficult decision in order to take this. But this, to me, in the past is saying that you just couldn't make the decision to start something new. And then with the Two of Swords too, I'm not feeling the whole ignoring a truth. I think it's you needing to be able to hold two truths at once and not being bound to a certain type of thinking. It does kind of have like the Eight of Swords feel to it. Not that you're stuck in a situation, but your thinking may have been preventing you from making a choice. But here it is, right? In the present moment, the world, perfect, right? So whatever things were blocking you from being able to make the choice to do what is going to fulfill you, this is saying that that's over with here now, and the world is opening up to you, literally. Like, these are the cycles that you will never have to repeat again. It's over. It's a successful completion. They don't have to be replayed out anymore. And your reward for the successful completion of that is your Ace of Cups. But this is perfect. This is what you're focusing on right now. No more repeating pattern here. We're done. We've completed this storyline. It's time for what you want. Future conditions, the Emperor. I know what I'm doing. Being in control, right? And that harshness is starting to come through too a little bit. The whole ruling with the iron fist. Now, for some of you, this could be somebody coming through that may be helping you establish control and giving you the kind of advice that you need to be able to take this. This could be, the father figure type who may be sharing wisdom, but, understanding that you have to have control over what is going on within yourself first. And I say that because of the Two of Swords coming out, but here, very powerful position, right? Your best path to follow, the Knight of Swords. Be careful about acting abruptly without having all of the information. But then the other part of this too with the Knight of Swords is don't hesitate, right? And again, there's this feeling with Cancer where it's speaking up and speaking out. But here it's not hesitating. This is immediately acting on this opportunity. I feel like I want to say, don't let it pass you by. But also be mindful of the actions that you are taking, because, the Knight of Swords tends to be a little bit harsh, right? And again, there's this like harshness kind of coming through. I don't want to say that past situations have left you jaded, but for some of you, absolutely that can be true. But it put you in a place where, like, you're putting your foot down almost. But you don't want to do something that, or say something that you might regret later. But definitely don't hesitate, right? Immediately start following this path. In your environment, strength, right? Strength, every time I see this, I'm looking at a message of, you're going to have to find the strength to continue because you are so close to seeing a completion, getting to the things that you want. And for a lot of you, you may have had to pull on a lot of inner strength here to be able to just successfully end a cycle or a pattern. But your strength is going to pull you through. But also, there's this understanding of not needing to have to force things. And I think that a lot of you are aware of that. But it feels heavy-handed. But I don't feel bad about it. I feel like there's a reason for it. Your hopes and your fears, the Ten of Wands, you're wanting to get rid of the burdens that you've been carrying, right? That, and you don't want to go into a new beginning carrying a bunch of stuff with you that is making you feel weighed down. Now, for some of you, you don't want to commit to something either that's going to make you feel bad. But because it's the Ace of Cups, the stronger feeling here is, I want to have this new emotionally fulfilling beginning. I want to see where this path is going to go. There is no hesitation. You're speaking up. But are you looking to this to be what gets rid of what's weighing on you? Or are you going to be able to find the strength to let all that stuff go in order to take this? And again, with the Two of Swords, these may be things that you were carrying around before that prevented you from making a choice to end a cycle in order for something new to come in. But it's over. That's over. You're the one that places the limits on releasing burdens. Where do you think you need to be? What has to happen? or could you just let it go? You know, for some of you too, it may be that, you know, before you rush off and act, in order to, you know, be able to take control, it may be some things that you need to address so that you can be released from it. And it may just be the awareness that they're there. And that in itself may help you let it go. And then coming out, the King of Swords, again, there's this like really just, right? But the King of Swords, you know, this one, for me coming out, I feel like there is the emotional detachment, and you may have a very strong like figure coming through here, but what they're offering is happiness, emotional fulfillment. But it could be because of someone with a lot of understanding, you know, a lot of knowledge too here, and how a situation can work. It may be that this is somebody that's coming through that's giving you this information. You know, the King of Swords, I don't see him being a bad person. Now, you know, for some of you, if you're dealing with somebody who is too controlling, who is too analytical, or likes to spin the story, you know, this is you releasing that, no longer repeating that pattern. Absolutely. But I'm looking at truth and clarity here, where there was confusion before and a need for you to act on that, but also understanding that you don't have to force these things to happen. And it may be that, you know, you've been holding on to your inner strength, hoping that this would open up for you, you know, where you weren't seeing it before, right? But the King of Swords, though, with the Emperor too, you know, it may be that you're meeting somebody who has a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and what they discuss or what they find interest in intellectually may be opening you up to, you know, this brand new world, this brand new cycle. Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, yeah, and that kind of going back to your oracle cards. And the sun, the sun. Look at it, Cancer. The Ace of Pentacles, beautiful new beginning. Something that is realistic, has stability, has the potential for a lot of financial gain. Beautiful, beautiful new beginnings. It starts with the emotions, but it may lead to something that you look at as being a situation that could be very long lasting in your life, right? And then the Seven of Wands, you've had to stand up for yourself. This is, you know, you can't change my mind, and you're not going to knock me down. And again, going back to, you know, your magician on steroids over here, it's not happening. Like, you're not going to let the opposition to what you want stop you from doing that. And you have a whole new life happening. And it could be because of someone in particular. And this person is going to come from a place of truth, where you may have been dealing with people who were inauthentic. Like, I feel like this is somebody who's very authentic and truthful about who they are, what they think, you know, and they may have a tendency to want to control situations and things like that, but the Emperor coming out with that, especially with the Ace of Cups, is not a bad thing. Wow, man. Yep, there you go. Truth, honesty, integrity, trust. New path emerging, yep. And then change. And that may be why there's all of this like intense energy going on around this, because what you need is that change, right? But living in truth is going to create this new path. And it might require a lot of change on your part. But I feel like a protective, honest influence around you. That's how I want to say that. Now, for some of you, yeah, it could be a love interest. But they would be intellectually fulfilling for you. Like, they feed your mind, they don't manipulate your emotions. The end of a tough cycle approaches, thank God. And then the energy is gaining momentum, and this is the one that keeps coming out, which would make sense to me with where we're headed here on the 14th with the solar eclipse, right? But as soon as the tough cycle is over, you're able to make more clear choices for yourself. You know, and this could also be you, right? Or it could be somebody influencing those best parts of you. But either way, Cancer, this is a whole new beginning, and it's going to feel like a whole new life for you. And it's not something that you're going to back down from.